Imagine unlocking an extra 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 revenue for your clothing brand next month. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for over 250 brands we've worked with within the past year, this dream has become a reality. I'm Christian Pignon, along with my business partner, Aaron Pearson. We're here to share the strategies that have transformed hundreds of e-commerce businesses. If you are new to our community, welcome. We drop 2 new videos every single week. Aaron delves into cutting-edge marketing tactics while I unravel the mysteries of Shopify. So, what's the secret sauce to our clients' success, right? It's a powerful blend, I think. Yeah, it's a blend of a lot of different things. Website optimization, smart advertising, email marketing. These are the 3 main pillars here. Now, today I want to lift a little bit of the curtain on Shopify secrets that are going to help you achieve some of these similar results. So up first is streamline your checkout process. I think this sort of phrase, right, gets thrown a lot in any blog post that you read about optimizing your website and streamlining whatever. So part of it is, Shopify does a really, really good job, right, of streamlining this process for you. But there are themes out there that I think take a step back, right, from that nice streamlined process to the checkout. Plus, I think there's other good things that we need to talk about in checkout. Now, the path from add to cart all the way to order confirmed, right? That's the process that we're talking about, is when they land on that product page and they're about to hit that add to cart button all the way up to basically the thank you page, right? That's what Shopify calls it. Now, a streamlined, right, checkout process is gonna reduce cart abandonment, it's gonna boost conversion rates, it's gonna make it very easy to make that conversion because the customer has a very linear path, right, to go from the product page all the way up to the thank you page. And when we talk about that linear path, what we're really essentially saying is that on the product page, there needs to be a single add to cart button. On the cart, there needs to be a single checkout button. On the actual checkout, there needs to be a single pay now button, right? So this is what we call a linear path compared to, for example, on the product page, some people have the add to cart button, but sometimes we have the checkout button right there, or maybe we have the shop pay button mixed in within it. And then on the cart, I've seen it where it has return to cart, or maybe go to checkout, or continue shopping, right? You're giving the customer a lot of different ways to go about purchasing the actual product or getting to that end goal, right? Instead of giving the customer all these options, I would say minimize all the options that you're giving the customer to, again, form that linear path. Now, just to give you an example of how something like this would look, and just to kind of give you a little bit more actionable, right? You want to go to your theme, and again, this is going to look a little slightly different from theme to theme, but for the most part, you're going to have some of these options. Now, right now we are in the bit branding theme. We're using the concept theme, and in here we're going to go to our product page, and then from here you see like there's 2 buttons in here on the actual product page where there should be just one. It should be that add to cart instead of the buy it now present that's right here. Now, a lot of times what you will see on your theme is going to be under the product information section. You have multiple blocks, and within these blocks you'll see something that says buy buttons, and then from here what I would recommend is removing or unchecking the show dynamic checkout button. What this is going to do is going to remove that, sometimes it's like Apple Pay or Shop Pay, like it's like a very purple prominent button. It's going to remove those, and it's going to leave just a single nice add to cart button. What this is going to do is going to promote, again, that linear path. Is no matter how you come to the site or when or to what product page, you're always going to find that linear path of adding to cart, and from my cart I have everything in there, and then I go to checkout, right? Doing this will ensure that you also have the opportunity to upsell your customers, right? Because a lot of times it works with adding to cart, and then from the cart maybe you have some pop-ups that has maybe some additional products, or within the cart itself, right? Some themes have the opportunity for you to add some products right within here. So when we talk about that linear path, it's going to be this right here. It's getting rid of this dynamic checkout buttons, is giving the customer the opportunity to add to cart and to continue browsing, continue shopping within your store. Now, after the product page, the next place is going to be that cart. To me, I think the best thing that is working right now, the best secret that I can give you is do a cart drawer. There's different options when it comes to carts. There's going to be a drawer. The drawers are the ones that come from the side. So let me just click on this one. This one right here is just taking you straight to a page, for example. So you see, like when you click on it, it automatically reloads and it takes you to a page. Now, if we want to change that to a cart, again, this is depending on how the theme actually works and the options that it gives you. a lot of times you'll see this under settings, and you'll want to go to cart, and then in here it will give you some options. So you can see we have cart drawer, and then we have cart page as the two options that we have here. So I'm not sure why it opened up the page. Okay, so we had to completely change themes here. Not sure exactly what's happening with concept. It could have been maybe some customizations that we were testing, but I have released, so this is just a completely different theme, just to kind of give you that option of how this can actually look. So if we click on cart, for example, you'll see that drawer. So this is what I'm talking about when it says drawer. It's actually, it opens up right here. It still gives the customer the option to keep shopping if they're on the product page or the home page or collection page, right? And then so you can see, like, the cart also has, the cart drawer has some other options, especially with this one, where it gives you the option to do the free shipping message or any other sort of announcements right within here. And then also gives you the option to do, like, when it's empty, to kind of go back and start shopping, essentially, just kind of incentivizing you to do that. Now, if we go to, let's go to a product page, and then let's go ahead and add to cart. I want to see what happens. So this is exactly what we want to happen. It's from the product page, we add to cart, and it opens up the drawer with my product in here, and maybe some additional information, right? We have the shipping message right within here, so it follows along as the threshold that I have set up. And again, you basically do that through the theme settings, and as you can see, there's usually some kind of cart or cart drawer, or sometimes you'll see like drawers as well, where you may find some additional information in here. Other times, some other themes also have, which is, this one has both, right? You have the theme settings options, and then you also have an option right within here, which this is where it allows you to add the product cards, and when the cart is empty, it allows you to add some additional information in here and change some things. So you want to check both areas just to see what kind of options and what kind of things you can do with this particular cart drawer. Now, the one thing that I don't see, so we have the two buttons, and this is what we're trying to say, like, we don't necessarily need a view cart to then go to the cart page to then go to the checkout, right? It just expands on the amount of steps. So if we have the option to do that, it should be here within the settings. It looks like we have the dynamic checkout buttons as well on cart, which I guess on cart, that might not be a bad idea to have in here. I would say I'm 50-50 on that one. The idea is that if you already have all your items in your cart and you want a more expedited checkout, then having potentially Shop Pay and some of these other ones show up here within the cart would probably be a good idea. Now, what I don't want to happen is I don't want for all these buttons to occupy so much space that you don't really see all the items that you have within your cart. So I would look for sure just to make sure that that's not the case. Okay, so this particular theme doesn't give us the option to remove that view cart. My suggestion here is going to be two parts. It's either going to be some kind of custom CSS that we'll have to add to the theme overall to hide this view cart button right within here. Or my second thing that I would recommend for you to do is click on the three dots up here for your theme, and then click on get support, and just send a message to your theme developers to see if they have just a quick little piece of code that you can add to your theme to hide that view cart, to again just keep it very streamlined. Now, the second secret is to harness the power of social proof. Social proof for us is one of the most important things, right? Nothing really sells like satisfied customers. If you have a ton of happy customers, if you have a ton of customers wearing your product and showcasing your product, like that's the best, one of the best things that you can have here within your store. So leveraging some of that social proof can significantly, it can increase trust, it can increase conversions, and there's several things that you can try out for your own store. Number one is going to be obviously displaying customer reviews prominently. And this is where I think a lot of people tend to maybe install an app and then enable the app within the product page here, but maybe they forget to put any other sort of social proof anywhere else on the site. And that's where I think, part of the sections that are built in within the theme are just great things to include on other pages. So if we go, for example, here on the home page and we go to our sections, there may be already something in here. So let me just kind of scroll. This is a brand new theme, but there may be, yeah, here we go. So as you can see, we have this review section. We have the stars in here, and it's automatic slider along with an image, which is awesome. So something like this, obviously it takes, a little bit of copy and pasting, right? Maybe some of your best reviews or the reviews that you actually want to highlight and have them here within the homepage. This is something that a lot of people tend to forget about, is to add some of these reviews in here. You also don't have to rely, this right here is just a section by this theme. And the reason why I said copy and paste is because if we go to, for example, one of these testimonial slides, like you'll have to basically copy and paste the actual quote in here, and it won't dynamically change or update as your customers are giving you some reviews. Now, an alternative to this, right? If you want a way to automatically have the newest reviews in here, then depending on the app that you're using, but I know, for example, Judge Me gives you the opportunity to have a section here within the homepage that you can highlight some reviews. So you would go to Add Section, go to your Apps tab, and then right within here, it looks like we have Judge Me installed in here. I don't think we have any reviews for this test store, but as you can see, there's a lot of different options in here in terms of sections that you can try out. Obviously, not all of them are gonna work the exact same, but for me, I think it would be something like a reviews carousel, right? Once we add that, we should be able to see some kind of preview. I guess, yeah, because we don't have any reviews necessarily, so it's not necessarily going to show anything here. But as you can see, it says let customers speak for us, and depending on the type of the reviews that we have, that's what it will basically display here. The only caveat to this is that this section may not have that same look and feel, right, as the rest of your theme, right? If you purchase a theme, something like Release, for example, it's going to have a certain look and feel to it, where this reviews carousel by Judge Me, it's going to sort of stick out a little bit like a sore thumb, which may be a good thing, right, if you're displaying reviews. But if you're more meticulous, right, about how your homepage, especially your homepage looks, then potentially just doing something like this, where you're taking advantage of what the developers have built and it actually flows and looks better, then this may be something to consider for your store as well. And you may think, or you may see something a little bit different. Like there's a bunch of other sections that could work as reviews. At the end of the day, like what I've done in the past too is like there's some themes out there that don't have a testimonials or reviews section. So I just use maybe a multi-column section, or I will use the big hero banner with a slider, and I'll put the review right within there. I will use the background image as the actual product, or maybe the customer wearing the item. And then for the stars, like if you hit on the emoji button on your keyboard, you can actually get to these stars right here. So there's just like the very simple basic emojis. You can just copy and paste 5 of them in a row, and it will look very similar to potentially something like this. Now, other ways to increase social proof overall on the site, you'll definitely want to highlight bestsellers. I think bestsellers collections tend to be forgotten sometimes when you're thinking about the categorization of your products, right? You're thinking about probably like men's, women's, tops, bottoms, but you tend to forget like for those 2 collections that I think new arrivals and bestsellers. Those are going to be very important collections that I think every clothing store should have and should have prominently displayed on that top navigation. Now, let me just show you how I do bestseller collections, and this could differ a little bit from the way that you're doing them. You could also have a very much a curated version of bestsellers, but if you want an automatic collection that you don't have to, it's more of like a set it and forget it, then this is how I would create a best-selling collection. So if we go to collections here, we create collection, we'll call it bestsellers. In order for all of my products to show up on this collection, all I'm going to do is I'm going to create it as an automated collection, and then I'm going to do price of the product is greater than $1. So if all my products in my store are greater than $1, they're going to show up on this collection. And then we're going to click save. Now, after we click save, it's going to load up and it's going to give you all your products in here. Now, what you want to change here is the default sorting. It's going to go from A to Z. But what you want to do in here is do best selling. And there you go. Now you have an automatic collection of bestsellers for all of your products, and you don't have to touch this again. Now, this is a good thing to do, again, if you are wanting to showcase all of your products in your store. If you don't, then you could potentially combine and add some other conditions in here. So maybe you just only want to display the best-selling, I don't know, tops in your store for whatever reason. Then you can add another condition in here and do like maybe product type has to be equal to graphic tees, for example. Then that way you're sort of narrowing it down a little bit further. Something else that you may want to do is for your gift card products, maybe add a tag to your gift card products. There are some stores that I've seen that gift cards are absolutely like one of their best sellers, and it just looks kind of weird, right, to include a gift card within your best-selling collection. So it may be good to add that tag in there, and I believe you can do, okay, so maybe not tag, but let's see, product type. Okay, so within the gift card product per se, you can maybe do the product type be gift card. So if the type is not equal to gift card, then it will also make sure to exclude gift cards from this best-selling collection. So this is another great way to showcase some social proof. Why? Well, because you have happy customers that are purchasing a lot of your products, right? And that means that your customers have favorites, right, within your store. So this is just another sort of hidden way, right, of showcasing still some kind of social proof. The last thing that you can do is use some sort of trust badges or certifications, or a lot of times we tend to go to this multi-column section somewhere near your footer of your store. Great example that we always share is Chubby's. I think Chubby's does a good job with this. So you scroll on here on the homepage all the way to the bottom, you'll see this trust badge section right here. So they talk a little bit about the fact that they support mental health, free shipping and returns, the fact that they're available in stores, right? This too is a form of social proof. It's a form of, hey, we are a brand, yes, but this is also how we operate as a business. This is also what we support as a business, right? These things help you connect with your audience a little bit better. All right, the third secret that I have for you is deliver exceptional customer service. We actually made a video on customer service last week, so I would highly suggest you check that out. Just dive a little bit deeper into what it means to have great customer service. But for us, customer service needs to go beyond just the website, right? Customer service goes on your social media, it goes on your website, it goes on your email, it goes on any form of communication, right? Any shape, form, or way that you are connecting with your audience, that is customer service. So customer service can set you apart from competition or maybe from brands that are just starting out. And technically, I mean, a lot of people tend to say like, yeah, customer service is going to be your differentiating factor. And then it's like, okay, well, do you have a live chat option on your site? It's like, well, no. It's like, okay, well, maybe you have your phone number. Maybe they can contact. It's like, no, we don't have a phone number. Okay, so how do you plan on having exceptional customer service, right? If you're not able to connect one-on-one immediately with your audience, right? This is where, to me, like implementing some kind of live chat support gotta have to be like the first thing that you do. And with that, the easiest one that you can do right now, and it's free, Shopify Inbox. If you want something a little bit more sophisticated, then something like Joofy, where it implements and integrates ChatGPT. So it can automatically answer any question from your customers, and it also has the ability for it to connect with your actual store and read over all of your about, FAQs, product information, and have knowledge, right? It's a very powerful app because it has all the knowledge that you would have, right? Because you know your brand and your business. But this Joofy app essentially learns from your website and what you have there as far as content, and it's able to essentially form answers, right, to the questions that your customers may have about certain products, about maybe how shipping works, or do you offer returns, right? All these things are going to be super easy and convenient for your customer to just have a communication back and forth. So if you've used ChatGPT and you've liked the responses that you've gotten, then that's great. If you haven't liked the responses that you've gotten, then a great thing about Joofy is that you can actually train the agent, right, or the AI agent within that's plugged in to answer questions like you would answer them. So you can actually go into the training session and ask the questions that you want to ask, see the responses, and tweak the responses to certain questions. And with customer support, always, returns and exchanges, right? This is like for any clothing brand out there, returns and exchanges is going to be something, I mean, people care about it, right? Customers are not able to wear the items online. So the rate of return and exchange is going to be something significant, right? It always has been for clothing brands online. Now, you can offer, right, some great options for returns and exchanges, and that would be my suggestion, is to do the 30 days at least. The part where I think you have some flexibility is setting up whether the customer pays for it or whether you pay for it. If you're seeing that a lot of people are not converting, offering the option, right, to have free returns and exchanges paid for by the company, like that to me is a huge incentive, and I would 100% buy from a brand if I had an option, right? I have the same shirt, two different brands. One, I don't have to pay for returns and exchanges. The other one I do. Like, I'm gonna go with the cheaper option, obviously. So that's gonna be a great test to do for your brand overall. The next best thing is providing some kind of detailed FAQ. In any way that you can do some kind of self-serve options, I would always do self-serve options so they don't have to necessarily rely on you. Now, FAQ pages I think are great. It's a great way to mitigate a lot of the questions that you're gonna get by installing this live chat option. So if you do a live chat app, whether it's Inbox or Joofy, then I recommend that you do an FAQ page on your store. Now, FAQ pages, depending on your theme, they're actually pretty great, pretty easy to implement. So let me just just show you real quick how I would go about creating this. You have to go to your online store, you go to pages, and then right within here, you want to add a page and call it FAQ. Now, the reason why I'm excited about this is because depending on the theme, it will give you the option to make this actually look really nice versus having just a huge block of text, right? So like, yes, you could potentially type in all the questions and answers right here within the content, or you can actually use a templated page for your store. So depending on what's available, and let's see, like, I guess for this one, we have to use the current theme as like the only way to connect the template. So let's look in here and see what we have as an FAQ. I did see a template already created, but let's see what that one gives you out of the gate. So we're using here Turbo by Out of the Sandbox. If we go here from homepage, we go to pages, and then in here, we'll see a bunch of different templates that have been already created. So it looks like we have an FAQ one. Let's see how this looks. So it looks like we have a banner, another banner, just a bunch of text. Okay, and then we have these drop downs. So this is what I like. A lot of themes already have something like this. They usually call it accordion text, or in this case, it's just the FAQ section where it gives you the opportunity to do the title. So you can see question and answer right within here, but it looks a little bit nicer in here. So with these templates, the great thing about it is, like I said, you don't have to put the content over there. You would put the content right here within this section. This additional information is essentially coming in because we're previewing the about page. But if we change this preview to the newly created FAQ page, you'll see that it gets rid of that content. So now that we've changed to the FAQ preview up here, you'll see that we've gotten rid of that additional content that was being pulled from the about page. So now we're on the template for the FAQ. We're previewing the FAQ page that we created, which has no content. And what we're going to do is we're going to rely on this section here to actually put all of our content, all of our questions. We also see this header in here that has the shipping, which is not what we want, but that we may be able to change. Let's go here to this. Okay, so that's where it's being displayed. So it's just the main section here. You click on that, we have that image in here. So we actually, if we remove this image, to get rid of the banner. Okay, so we have a very simple, just FAQ, and then we have our content in here. And then from here, it's just a matter of adding our questions and adding our answers in here. The nice thing about it, again, is that we have this accordion, type section. So it will look a little bit nicer for the customer, a little bit more organized, better organized, right? Because we'll have different sections. Like we can have a shipping, returns section. We can have about the company, all this within just this big FAQ page. Okay, and the last secret that I'm going to give you is going to be the post, right? What happens after they purchase. It's going to be a little bit of the email marketing options that you have here within Shopify. And obviously, email remains one of the most effective marketing channels. These are some of the things that I would do. Again, we're just scratching the surface here, right? You definitely want to dive a little bit deeper into this, but in terms of email and going back to what I think makes a difference, right, from one brand to the other, and how do you differentiate yourself from the competition? Then having your notifications. So if we go to here to settings and we click on notifications, and we go to customer notifications, this right here will show you a lot of different emails that get automatically sent to your customers. And these are basically called like transactional emails, right? It's the confirmation order, is the shipping confirmation, it's if something changed in your order, if it's been picked up by the customer. As you can see, like there's quite a different options in here. But one of the most important ones obviously is going to be the order confirmation. Some of these order processing ones, if you will. When you click on them right here within the back end, you'll see a preview of what the message actually says and what it looks like. And this is again where, going back to like we've talked before about personalization, right? And making sure that the way that you're talking to your customers is not the generic jargon, right, that you would see on every other Shopify store. So you definitely need to come in here and play around with the messaging. The messaging here, it's going to be a little bit different. I think from store to store, right? This is thank you for your purchase, right? Versus for a different store, maybe you're only doing pre-orders right now, right? This is a generalized example, but thank you for your pre-order, right? That tweaking of the language definitely matters, and the customers are definitely going to appreciate that, right? And again, it's not about just getting the sale, it's what happens after the sale, right? So this is part of what happens after the sale. And then within here, something that I would recommend you to do is click on customize email templates, and then here you can actually add your logo. You have to add your logo again, and then you can change your accent color. So the accent color is just going to be that button and that link in here, but make it match your brand. So I would do that, number one. And then beyond that, going into the actual verbiage, it's a little bit trickier because Shopify doesn't really give you an option to easily do it. You have to kind of like click on this edit code, which it looks daunting, right? Like you're looking at this, you're like, this is gibberish. There's no text in here, but there is, like, the text is just mixed in within the code. Really what I would do is, like, just as a backup, copy this whole thing, paste it somewhere else, just so you have a backup version of this. And then I would just make some changes in here. So as you can see, this right here, this is that sentence that was right underneath the confirmation. So your payment is being processed. You'll get an email when your order is confirmed, right? So those two sentences right there, this is what you can actually update. You can change completely. Right here where it says, thank you for your purchase, right? Technically, this is just in plain text. It's just mixed in within a little bit of the HTML. So these are things that I would do to customize these email templates and customize the verbiage and customize the branding just a little bit. Now, these Shopify secrets are going to boost your sales. You're going to be joining the ranks, right, of success stories. And you got to remember that e-commerce is definitely a journey, right? These are all things that you have to implement potentially through time. And obviously, like, within this video, I try to keep it, a little bit succinct. There's still a lot of different things that you can do within your store to keep experimenting, keep optimizing, and keep A/B testing on things that are working or potentially not working within your store. Now, if you're interested in that, if you're interested in what's next, we've gone through these secrets, but I want to know what's the next step, or maybe some kind of progression, right, for me as a store, then you definitely need to check out this video here next.